Okay, I first want to give a shout out to my guys here in my community chat. Please do join if you want to. There is a solid group of 500 we've got so far. These guys are truly such a nice group. It's been a blast to have conversations with them. It's really a good time. So if you want to join, please do join. There's all of them. I told them to say hi. And some obviously want a guide. So this is going to be fun. But today's video is all about pathing, funneling, and using the Dragon Duke charge and how to do this, okay? So let's get in. Okay, no, I know it looks like I'm zoomed out a ton, but don't worry. I will be able to zoom in, but I want to explain something. When you're funneling and just like getting used to an attack, the one thing I really like to think about is breaking the chain. What that means is I want to be able to 100% guarantee where my troops are going to go. So look, obviously we know I'm using dragons, right? The thing is, that little mark I made is I feel like I can take care of this one compartment right here, okay? Because if I start with my Duke in kind of at this wizard tower here, I can make sure that this whole area can be cleaned out. What this is gonna do is force my dragons, whichever entry I choose. So it doesn't matter if I choose this side over here with an X, or if I go over here and I want to start down below. Because then they know they won't split to either side. So once that's taken care of, I can push my dragons, because on this attack, I wanted to go and make sure I get through the town hall. Because obviously you do not want a time fail, right? And you want to make sure you don't one star. With that, my dragons are going to keep flying, and I'll switch to a color just like blue here, so you can actually see a little bit more clearly. They're going to keep going, they're going to keep going. The thing is, I want them to eventually turn around and go over here, right? To do that, I fire a queen shot. I'll mark that queen, and she's going to go down. I could have honestly shot my queen shot over here and got this air defense and this air defense here. But the reason is I wanted my queen to funnel my dragons. So that's that counter path that we take. So the queen is going to take care of all of this area in blue out here. This forces my dragons. I know this is going to get kind of confusing here, and sorry, I can't really switch insane colors or it's just going to get too long. Dragons will now path how I want them to, and then hopefully loop around totally around this base. That's the plan, and then I can use the overgrowth spell, which I also will be doing a guide on how to use it. But let's get into the actual attack so you can check it out. Okay, now let's watch this unfold. I'm going to get, obviously, my Duke in, and we're going to see if he can take this down. The one thing you also got to mention is in case something goes like just off the rails, you can get used to that just because it's still going to get you solid value in terms of pathing. So let's check this out. Duke's in at the wizard tower. Main thing you want to make sure of is an invisibility at every second that ends with a 6. So 2 minutes, 56 seconds, 46 seconds, 36 seconds, so on and so forth. But main thing is I want to make sure my Spirit Fox is covered. The Dragon Duke being covered obviously is essential as well, but if you miss it for a little bit, that's totally fine. My Spirit Fox does take some damage here, but again, I'm not too stressed out overly about it, but it is trapped out. But as you can see, I still clear out this entire compartment. At this point, I was like, you know what? My Duke's going to get wrecked by those heroes, so what I can do is now start with the dragons, and hopefully in time, I can help him out a little bit as he chains through. I see the Clan Castle, and you're like, no problem, I'm just going to get a poison spell on it, but as you can see, this damage all early with the Minion Prince ability is going to be awesome, just because I can really control it and then slow down all these heroes. Even though I was a little bit later, I just couldn't find that shot I wanted when it targeted a hero. There goes my queen. I actually missed that last air defense, which I did really want, but my queen is now going to produce that counter funnel we needed. She's going to take care of that storage, take care of the barracks, and now that way my dragons are forced to go the direction we had planned. There comes that Minion Prince ability that we wanted, and look at the queen. She's going to take care of this ricochet cannon and then move on towards that builder hut. And now none of the dragons are actually going to go towards that top side, which is exactly what we wanted. And my queen's going to keep staying with these dragons to hopefully force them in towards the core. Why'd I overgrowth that area? Well, look at this. I was just like, the queen's going to slow down a bit. I can get my dragons to all gather up. They'll kind of circle a little bit towards the outside. And then as they clear up that trash building and this rage tower set off, it's actually going to wear down before that, and we can take this remaining area out. So that's the kind of idea about what you want to do with this attack strategy. And it doesn't matter if it's this one or if it's Dragon Riders, you can do the same thing, because spirit charges are essential for making sure you have pathing set up. Doesn't matter if it's super bowlers, you can do it with ground attacks. It's really good with anything, but the key thing is you place it in an area you can see that's probably not going to be trapped out, which sometimes is difficult to see. But for me, I care less about that. Is as long as I can get value and make sure my troops path correctly the way I want to, I'll put it in anywhere. So we'll go through some more replays and we'll kind of discuss. One, I might even show you a defensive attack that my base took that was excellently done with Dragon Riders. But I'll do that at the end of the video because obviously I still have defenses to take and I don't want to kind of leak my base. Okay, I don't really mind. This is the base that I was running. I only have a few attacks left, defenses left to take anyway. It's all good. But this was pretty much picture perfect on how you want to plan your attack out. So look, you got the double rage towers. That right away, when you have a spear charge, should instantly pop in your brain and be like, okay, I definitely want to enter in through that direction. Obviously, they're using Dragon Riders, so that's going to be a change of why people switch from the Queen to the Royal Champion, because the Royal Champion is going to snipe some key defenses out, while then you can directly path your Dragon Riders. So you're going to open up with your funnel with the Dragon Duke charge and the Royal Champion Rocket Spear, and then you're going to get your Dragon Riders. So they see they can take out either Rage Tower. They go for the top side one, which, again, excellent choice. It doesn't really matter because they're both similar compartments, but it's insane on how much value this can truly lead to. So Duke's in. It's going to kind of do its thing here. But when you see bases, I would really look out for those Rage Towers because they can really cook your army. But down it goes towards the Tessa. And look, it's already in towards that Rage Tower compartment. Still has 4 invisibilities left too. The Spirit Fox is relatively still healthy. Dragon Duke gets lured in towards by the enemy Dragon Duke, which is fine. I would have liked it if that Dragon Duke had gone under the invisibility, but he actually gets it down, which is going to be insane because now the Fire Spitter is getting cooked. So this whole compartment is getting absolutely just rocked, and it goes to the bottom, so it's going to completely take it out. And then, as you notice, the monolith is still up, but the key thing here is breaking the chain, right? We talked about that, so I'm going to pause here. Before that Royal Champion gets deployed, do you see how this whole section is taken care of? The Duke is going to take care of this remaining bomb tower, probably the multi-archer tower and the wizard tower. That means your Dragon Riders, now you can path whichever which way you want, and now the Royal Champion is going to be used to take out even more defenses. And then he has 6 Rocket Loons to really predict the path, because watch, Royal Champion is going to take care of this Archer Tower, the Super Wizard Tower, and the Monolith. Dragon Riders can jump in here at this multi-Archer Tower, in towards the CC early, have a Poison Spell, take care of it. Can get some Rocket Loons to snipe out these outer buildings, because what does that actually do? Why do you snipe those out? Well, because you want to be able to path directly in towards this Rage Tower without flying safe from this mortar, because then you're in the way of this air sweeper. That's why pathing and funneling is so dang important to not only Mass Dragons, Dragon Riders. It doesn't really matter what you're using. You got to be good at it. So here comes the Royal Champion. She's going to snipe out the Super Wizard Tower. Remember, the Monolith doesn't outrange your Royal Champion, or your Royal Champion doesn't outrange the Monolith. And now look at this. Dragon Riders in. They're going to path here. And realistically, he has a lot of spells that he's not even going to really need to use. Gets that free spell down. Look at that Dragon Duke still clutching all of that area. And then what you can do here is, as you see like the loggers in range and stuff like that, the Revenge Tower is going to go down. No stress. You can distract the logger. And then once his Rage Tower gets set off, watch what he does here, which is pretty much genius. Overgrowth it out. Because why? Because now you're not going to deal with any of that raged up damage. It's going to run out. His troops are going to be sitting there waiting, and he still has a freeze and a totem and the Sky Wagon and the Minion Prince ability. And this base does not stand a chance. So this is what I mean. Like, as long as you can path and predict your troops placement, there won't be an attack you'll struggle with. Seriously, I genuinely mean that. Doesn't matter if it's Legends 3, 2, or 1. It goes for any single base you're attacking. But this was an excellent attack. Really well done. But let's go into some more and let's keep discussing, because I feel like this is really required. But once you start getting the hang of it, use this in friendly challenges and you will level up your attacking game, I promise you. And some people might think to themselves, okay, well, Aki told me if I see Rage Towers, let me just jump into them, right? That's what he said. Well, no, not exactly. Because check this base out. I see it right away, and I see an automatic funnel I can create, and then I see the pathing for my dragons. Let me see if you guys get it. Honestly, take a guess and put it down below and see if you can get it. Mine would be right here, this gold collector. And you're probably like, what? Aki, no way. Why? Well, look, if I can get my Dragon Duke in towards this gold collector, I can path towards this multi-archer tower. Hopefully I go left up towards this air defense, take care of the sweeper, fire spitter area, okay? Then you're probably wondering, well, Aki, what does that do for you? Well, look at this. These walls actually help me funnel. How so? Well, if I fire my queen shot from this dark barracks, I can hopefully get this air defense, this backside air defense, and the sweeper. So now what did I already accomplish without even starting my dragons? Well, I've already built in the path I need to know. I've taken out a sweeper and possibly 2 air defenses with the queen shot. Dragon Duke is going to take an air defense, so that's a total of 3 air defenses and the sweeper, hopefully. So that's 2 air sweepers, 3 air defenses, and the pathing before we even set our dragons down. That was all in the 30 seconds that I'm thinking about. Well, look at this. Then I can get my dragons down right here at this regular barracks, and then I'm right in towards that rage tower. So I deal with that rage tower early. I can use the warden ability a little bit early, and then I've got this nasty core here, which also has another rage tower. But why am I not scared of it? Well, because I get to deal with it early. Because I know my queen's going to walk towards the top side, Dragon Duke's going to do his thing over here. You'll actually notice something special, and that's kind of ridiculous. It doesn't happen on most attacks. I actually end up getting all the way towards the CC with the Dragon Duke. So let's check this out, and you'll see how it works live in action. I've attacked, obviously, for over, 12 years now. So you get the ideas when you can see different bases. Trust me, the more you attack, the more you'll understand and kind of understand where you can cut the link of a base. That's how I like to think about it. I don't know why I'm so stuck on it, but it's really worked for me. As you can see there, I let my Dragon Duke take some damage. We're not overly stressed about that. As long as I keep my Spirit Box safe, which I did allow a monolith shot, I did want to avoid that for as long as possible. I don't end up taking a ricochet cannon shot, which is awesome. Monolith targets my Spirit Box again, which is unfortunate. But now, one thing I noticed right away, I'm like, whoa, my Dragon Duke is possibly going to take care of that whole CC. And if it does, that's insane value. Can I make sure maybe my queen could hit that CC? And I end up missing it, but the Fireheart takes it out. So look, queen fired her shot. I got the 1 air defense. I still missed the backside sweeper and air defense. So it doesn't go entirely to plan, but my funnel is even more set than I initially had expected. Now I get this wide spread of dragons heading in towards this rage tower. Actually, technically both rage towers. And then I have my queen leading towards the top side. So this is going to maintain a early path. I popped my minion prince ability early because I knew I was going to get towards the rage tower. I see all my dragons together, so I don't miss any of them. Pop the warden ability. Now we've got both rage towers set off. The first one's being completely rocked. I have the, we're going to pause here. I have the logger throwing stuff at me. So what I'm going to do in here is freeze totems to help me out. Why'd I overgrowth all of this out? Well, because look, had I not, my dragons could have possibly went towards this multi-archer tower, which I wouldn't have liked. My queen's going to take care of the storage. Now, all of my dragons are forced to go towards the town hall, which I want to guarantee I take down. So that's why it's so important to be able to see, even if my troops are about to veer off, that's how I use my overgrowth. This overgrowth was not used to take out high damage things. I could have taken out the revenge tower for that if I wanted. But what I noticed mid-attack was like, look, where my Dragon Duke ended up, I can get a totem, I can actually turn this into a mini invis charge, and my Dragon Duke is going to be actually able to clear that revenge tower and possibly all those Teslas. So you see what I mean? As long as you can do that and start seeing these things mid-attack, there's rarely ever bases, unless you make a mistake, that can't be 3-starred. That's just the thing I've always thought about, but very nice there. Another one. Let's go talk about one more attack, and then again, I could do a more of a series on this style of stuff. Like I feel like I really want to do one on just the overgrowth spell because people struggle with it, but this is completely a guide on how to like learn this attack strategy, but also get and understand what pathing and funneling is. Okay, I was going to do one more replay, but I feel like you guys have learned of all the kind of fundamentals, so we'll do a CWL attack. Reason for that is I'm out of my Legends hit. We are in first place. We're actually doing really well. I'll show you my stats. 2.9. We've done really good attacking-wise. Defensively, it's been okay. So, can't really complain, but let's break this completely down. So, this is the base, right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a screenshot of this, and we're going to draw all over it, and then we're going to get the attack, and then hopefully we can actually execute as well. Okay, time to lock in. Well, what do you guys see right away? Where should we start? How and when, where should the Dragon Duke go? Well, let's look at this. 2 things we can exploit right away. Air sweeper over here, air sweeper over here. So they're targeting away. I don't want to enter in my dragons from here or obviously from up here. Okay, just don't want to do that. Okay, so I'm going to take those two away just because I don't want them to confuse us later on. Well, if I want to set a funnel that's opposite of that, how do I do it? Well, look at this. Let's say we want to enter in our Duke. We'll make them red over here. Say Dragon Duke right here. Plan is, if we can somehow, we want him to make sure we can direct him over here. Okay? If he does say go down, that is not in our best interest because I don't want to loop my dragons around, so I have to battle both sweepers. If that becomes the case and I see my Dragon Duke going down towards this bottom side, we will use, let's use blue here, an invisibility somewhere here to redirect them. So if we need to do that, we will waste one invisibility. Okay? So the ideal plan here is the Dragon Duke to clear all of this. Okay? Right when the Dragon Duke clears all of this, I notice something else. I see this bottom air defense, and then on the top side, I can take care of this sweeper, and then the top air defense at that top side as well. And then hopefully that shot not only takes out air defenses, but it also gets my queen to clean out. And okay, we gotta change colors here again, but let's go purple. Queen should hopefully take care of these trash buildings. Maybe reaching towards here, maybe get the multi-archer tower depending on damage. Could use a totem to support her. And then in, oh gosh, let's go light blue. The dragons here, drags, okay, are going to be placed here all the way up leading towards the town hall. We do have to take care of the logger, so we will have totem spells. We have a poison spell, and we might, depending on if the CC is not ground or not air targeting, well, we're just going to sweep right through it, and then we can use the poison on all the heroes. The overgrowth spell now. The overgrowth spell for me is really going to depend on this base. If I feel like my dragons are stuck in that core dealing with those dragons and that overgrowth is needed on, say, this revenge tower and this air defense, albeit, I'm fine with that. But that's kind of the plan, and let's see if we can actually execute at this point, because now we predicted all of our path and we got our funneling ready. Let's see if we can actually do it. Okay, now the questions arrived. Can we actually get this done? Well, let's start. Let's go Dragon Duke just like this. And then we got to just be careful of our invisibilities. I'm going to let it take some damage. That's okay. As long as I can make sure I head in where I want to go. And so far, I'm liking this path. Okay. Go towards that multi-archer tower. No, you don't want to? Well, guess what? I'm going to make this invis so we actually push to where we want. Just kind of like we had planned. And I really did think that could be a possibility. But, oh, now he does go down towards here. Well, guess what? I'm not going to be too mad at this. Only reason being is because I actually kind of want that all to be taken care of. Queen shot like this, like we wanted. We got the air defenses. We didn't get this quite cleared, but we got the early sweeper. So guess what? I'm changing things up a little bit. Might have to sometimes do this on the fly. But I'm not really all that mad because now we can distract this logger. Might actually do a little bit of change of plans. I'm going to use an overgrowth like this to help my queen out just a bit. Okay, here comes my dragons. So this one's obviously gone a little bit off the rails, but I'm going to do a post-attack breakdown on this because I feel like I haven't been able to explain what I've been doing and why I've been doing it. Let's go Warden ability here. Poison spell like we needed to do. The queen, I don't know how I felt about it, but we kept her alive, which I think was the good plan. But I actually kind of did want this to happen because you can still overcome stuff and make changes that you think wouldn't have worked, but now obviously did work because, like, look, we still have a ton of overkill even though things went crazy. And this kind of leads automatically to my last point. Don't panic. If things don't work your way, if there was a ground CC, look what happened. We still overcame it, but now what we're going to do is, obviously the attack went great. We have a revive, we have a totem, we swagged a freeze. I'm not going to place, okay, let's get this minion down. That's just annoying me. But let's go discuss why I made what changes we made and what kind of mistakes popped up that we can't avoid, say, next time. Because obviously I know some questions are going to pop up like, what did you do? Why'd you do this? Why'd you do this? Hopefully I can answer those questions. So let's start and talk about the first opening of the attack. Was I happy with it? So we get in towards this gold collector. The first mistake I kind of see is, did I really need this invisibility here? I think I could have gone away with it because everything was targeting the spirit box. Big thing here is if I could have got that air defense down with, say, a minion right kind of like now-ish, I think that would have helped. But I think this invisibility set was good. Tried to push our Duke towards that top side. So far, I'm pretty happy with it. I think this invisibility was great, but that Duke kind of gets lured down. At this point, I automatically thought, I'm like, okay, look, he's about to go invis again. I do have that multi-gear tower, which I have to worry about because I don't quite want my Duke to go down just yet. So what can I do? Well, I know there's a furnace there that I'm not that scared about. So I'm going to let my Duke kind of do its thing, get a totem to help him out, and I'm just going to kind of let him shred. In my mind at this point, I was like, I'm still fine with my queen shot at this army camp to get this air defense, this sweeper, and the topside air defense. Okay? Well, I haven't got my objective of this area cleared down, so my funnel's not really set right now. Because watch what I'll show you. If right now, the queen shot was absolutely excellent. It couldn't have got much better than that. If I enter my dragons in right here, where we initially planned, well, guess what? I don't have my funnel set just yet. They can veer up towards the top side, then my dragon split, the logger's cooking me, I'm in trouble. So then what I thought was like, okay, well, the Dragon Duke did clear out this whole corner, so my dragons will go, if I place them here at this top side, in towards this multi-arch tower, they'll clear out this compartment. The queen's already kind of done her job at the top side, but normally you would want the queen to shoot down, and then she'd walk down this way. That's why I saved 4 to 5 dragons over here so they could do that counter funnel for me. So then again, I still, even during all this attack, as the commotion's going on and I'm starting to commentate, I know that I need to make that change. That stuff is what makes you a good attacker. I'm not calling myself a good attacker, but what I mean is those things are the essence of what a good attacker does. Even if things go wrong, you can still switch up your plan and pathing and funneling and still make things work. So, very happy about that. The overgrowth spell on this one, I don't know how good I feel about it, but which we will also have a discussion. But look at this. Even these dragons are for an agenda. Why they went down. Why they have the Skywagon. I want to make sure they funnel this side quickly, so these dragons are forced in towards the monolith and these core heroes. I saved my poison because I knew the chains of the Dragon Duke would take care of the CC. And look, that all helped out because my Duke is still going to clear out the logger, and he distracted the logger, which is perfect. At this point, I was a little bit late. I'm going to show you some mistakes I made too. I could have got a totem down right now, saved my giant, overgrowth out this area, but I thought my queen was veered off to a little bit to the left, so that's why I didn't really see. And I'm going deep into this. The Warden ability. Some might have done an early Warden ability because they were slightly panicked. I avoided it for as long as possible because I want to make sure if I make mistakes early, I need to make high use of my Warden ability and each and every single spell I use. I can't just use spells a ton just to catch my attack up. I can delay my spells so I can make sure I can get the most out of my army. So the overgrowth goes down. This totem I still feel like was helpful because my queen and Duke are going to be able to clear that side. That minion prince ability was absolutely picture perfect. Here I see all the traps being kind of deployed, so I'm like, you know what? Dealing with the Archer Queen and Minion Prince, I'm going to drop the poison and use the Warden combo. And now the top side's pretty much funneled. That dragon sadly does die down, but that's all good. I have totems now for the Revenge Tower. Look how many of my dragons survive. And now this is the only way they split. Most of them still stick together, but some with the Infernal Dragons go towards the top side. So this attack was honestly really good, even though it didn't go exactly to plan. We swagged totem, freeze, and a revive. That is pretty good. Even though this obviously is regular mode, I still feel like this would be a 3-star, even with modifiers, because you have so much spell support still. But again, I hope this video helped you. I went as deep as I could into this, but if you want another one, I can do another one. If you have any questions, put them down below. I hope this helps you guys. You guys are going to do great. Thank you. Peace out.